All right, sickle cells. So, some time back, I was asked by someone to talk about sickle cell disease, Uradewa Narubiri, which is some common disease that I think everyone has ever heard of. So, we are going to talk about it in 3 episodes. So, today we shall do the introduction and a bit of pathophysiology of how the disease progresses in our bodies. Then in the next episode, we shall do the clinical presentation or how the patient will come to you or what they will manifest with, and some bit of complications, because some complications manifest at presentation. Then in the other episode, the third one, we shall do the management that includes the investigations and the treatment and also prevention. So to start with, our bodies are made of cells. Cells, they are the building blocks of our bodies, butafari. So these cells are located in different regions or areas in our bodies, and they are adapted to do different functions depending on whether they are found and what they do. So likewise, even this red blood cell is located within our vessels or mumisuwa jaffe, and it has a shape in which it was created in order to execute its function. So if this shape changes from the other biconcave shape to a sickle shape, from the donut-like shape to the najolo-like shape, if I've ever seen a najolo, that sickle shape, that's when we shall say that our cell is sickled. So you'll have sickle cells or sickle cell disease. And also remember, this process of sickling can be reversible or irreversible depending on the surroundings or the environment in which the cell is and also the duration of those conditions. So why do these red blood cells sickle, or why do they undertake that sickle shape? Remember, these red blood cells are made of hemoglobin as their main component that enables them to carry those gases which they transport. So this hemoglobin is a protein, and it's made of amino acids as the building blocks. Remember, we have different types of hemoglobin as well. Depending on the type, the chains will also differ. And the arrangement of the amino acids per chain is also different to come up with an alpha chain, a beta, a gamma, or a delta. So a change in the arrangement of amino acids in a particular chain from how it is supposed to be will bring about the possibility of a cell to sickle or to undergo that sickle shape depending on the environment or the conditions in which it is. So we have different types of hemoglobin depending on whether it is classified under normal or abnormal hemoglobin. So in the normal, we have hemoglobin A, which is also known as the adult hemoglobin, and it is the majority, made of 2 alpha and 2 beta chains. Then you also have hemoglobin A2. This one is less common. It is made of 2 alpha and 2 delta chains. Then we have hemoglobin F, or which is called the fetal hemoglobin as well. And this is what we are born with from the intrauterine life up to some few months of life. And it is made of 2 alpha and 2 gamma chains. Then in the abnormal hemoglobin, we have hemoglobin S, which is the sickle cell hemoglobin that we are going to talk about as the gist, then hemoglobin C and hemoglobin E. So we shall go back to adult hemoglobin, or HbA, which has 2 alpha and 2 beta chains. So we have a particular arrangement of amino acids in these beta chains in the adult hemoglobin, and a change in the arrangement of only one amino acid along that beta chain will bring about our shift from having an HbA to HbS. That is shifting from adult hemoglobin, or the normal one, to a sickle cell hemoglobin. And this change occurs at position 6, whereby this amino acid called glutamine is changed, and you have valine instead. So these two amino acids have different properties because of having different side chains which are responsible for their properties, and that's why the valine is hydrophobic and nonpolar. Then the other glutamic acid is hydrophilic and polar. So under certain circumstances, especially in hypoxic conditions when there is decreased oxygen tension, this valine will try to invaginate and create those hydrophobic pockets to which those HBS aggregate and form those polymers under those hypoxic conditions. Then these polymers go on elongating to form that longitudinal frame of that sickle shape, and the red blood cell changes from the other biconcave shape to this kind of longitudinal or elongated sickle shape. So all this happening due to a point mutation that happened, which led to that change at position 6, where glutamine will be substituted for valine, which is hydrophobic. So these mutations in the genes that have to code for this hemoglobin will happen at chromosome 11. Remember, the human being is made of 46 pairs of chromosomes. But of those 46, you get 23 from either of your parents, of which 22 are autosomal and 1 is the sex chromosome. So of those 22 which are autosomal, the chromosome number 11 has the genes that code for this beta chain of hemoglobin. So if you have a mutation in that gene on chromosome 11 that codes for beta, for the beta chain, you're liable to coming up with this kind of condition, bringing about the manifestation of the disease, and also you can transfer it to your offsprings or to your children. Remember, you may inherit either one gene or two. So if you inherit one gene, you'll have what we call the heterozygous form or the trait form. You will be just a carrier. You will be there without symptoms, or you appear as a normal person, but the symptoms and signs may come in extreme conditions that exacerbate the sickle cells. But for the person who has inherited two genes from either of the parents, you will have the sickle cell disease or the homozygous type. That's why it is also called a autosomal recessive disease, because it will not manifest symptoms unless if there are two genes inherited. But if it is only one gene that you inherit, it will be in recessive form. You will just carry the gene, but you will not manifest with the symptoms. And this disease form, or the homozygous form, is the severe form. So we shall stop here for now, and the rest of the things we shall see them in the next episodes. If you have any questions, you can write it down in the comment section and we shall respond to it. Thank you.